Hi Karen, thanks so much for taking the time to meet with us today. Today we're going to be reviewing our presentation, which is for our stakeholder, Sally Clark. We truly believe that she will grant us the opportunity to meet with a smaller group of stakeholders to implement our business plan at the University of Washington. So let's get started.
Thank you, Lauren. That sounds wonderful. I was wondering if it would be okay if one of our newer SDRs, Jillian, sat in during your presentation. She's been doing a lot of shadowing recently, and I think she would benefit greatly from this.
Yeah, no problem.
We're going to start today by going over our agenda. First, we are going to discuss our client profile, initiatives, and discuss the problem at stake. Then we're going to discuss our pyramid of planned outcome, introduce our stakeholder, Sally, review our service, give our recommendation, show our implementation plan, quantify our value, and finally end with a quick summary.
Next, we'll be moving on to our client, the University of Washington Seattle campus, which is a public research university in Seattle, founded in 1861. The UW strategic vision is the preservation, advancement, and dissemination of knowledge, as well as their sustainable academic business plan, which transforms and invests in the best students, staff, and faculty, as well as transforming to keep up with 21st century challenges and infrastructure. They do this by increasing funding, decreasing costs, and increasing access.
The priority business goals at the University of Washington are first, to continue to achieve academic excellence. After returning back from COVID-19, they are putting a big emphasis on the in-person research. The second priority business goal is to enhance the student experience. They want to do this by increasing safety for students, faculty, staff, and visitors when shopping, socializing, and strolling around the university campus as well as the Ave.
Recently, the University of Washington Seattle campus has seen a dramatic increase in crime on and around campus. Let's take a look at news headlines from just this fall. UW parent distraught over university police response to sexual assault. 4 injured in university district shooting were UW students. Seattle police searching for U District prowler who entered off-campus house. UW students left shaken after weekend of violence in U District. Man arrested in connection to human remains found near UW. It's clear the UW has a safety problem. Now we will briefly be going over our pyramid of planned outcome. The action that we believe the University of Washington should take is to implement a safe and more accessible transportation program for students. Students and parents will be upset that their safety concerns are not being heard and that no action is being taken by the UW. Based on our research, students will not apply to the UW due to these safety concerns, and applications will decrease by 10%. Without a solid and safe transportation systems, students might also choose not to apply to UW. Admissions will then decrease by 5%. Students' mental health will decline as well and will be distracted from their studies. This will lead to students to not perform well in class and more likely to transfer from the UW due to mental health concerns. Next in our presentation, we will be introducing our stakeholder, Sally Clark. Sally is the Director of Regional and Community Relations at the University of Washington. Sally is the best stakeholder to present to because of both her involvement and tenure at the University of Washington. Sally also maintains a professional relationship with the president of the University of Washington, Anna Marie Kause, and this relationship and connection will help us better down the line when Anna Marie has to make the ultimate sign-off for our business plan implementation.
Now that we've discussed our client profile, I'm going to give a brief overview of our service before we move on to our recommendation. Uber is a safe and reliable ride-share service. Here at Uber, we connect the physical and digital world where movement can happen at the tap of the button. Here at Uber, we believe in a world where movement should be accessible for anyone so that people can move safely and quickly.
Now we will be discussing our recommendation. Our recommendation is that the University of Washington Seattle campus implements both a safe and accessible rideshare service with Uber. There are so many benefits of implementing a rideshare service like Uber, but today I'm going to be discussing the top 3. The first benefit with implementing our rideshare service is that students will have less anxiety. The value tied to this benefit is that students overall will have better mental health because they will be in a safer environment and will not be worried about walking home alone in unsafe conditions. The second most important benefit of implementing our rideshare service is that there is both flexibility and ease. The value tied to this benefit is that students will have more flexibility to focus on academics and study late because they will not be worried about safety. The final benefit is that our Uber service is both trustworthy and dependable. Uber holds their drivers to very high standards and all drivers will be screened prior to our implementation of our rideshare service, making this a very trustworthy service. Uber is also extremely dependable, and we will be incentivizing our rideshare drivers with promotions to ensure that Uber drivers have accessibility and availability for all UW students. The value tied to this is that students will always be able to get a ride with Uber. Don't worry, Karen. We're going to make it abundantly clear to Sally how Uber is going to be implemented at the University of Washington's Seattle campus. I'll let Sarah take the lead by discussing our app implementation program.
Students are going to register for Uber using their student email. The University of Washington will allow students that are full-time students to apply for the program. Students will need to be enrolled in 12 credits or more. These students will then have their UW email linked to their Uber app. Uber will send them a registration link where they can click on the button and receive their personalized coupon code. This coupon code will allow them access to 5 free rides per quarter, and the coupon code works between 6 p.m. and 2 a.m. every single night.
Now we'll look at the timeline for UW and Uber. If we were to close the deal soon, we could have this implemented at the UW for spring quarter of 2023. All Uber would need is a list of students enrolled for spring quarter so that we can send them an email the last week of winter quarter, which gives them 2 weeks to register and get their promo code via their student email. Now we're going to look at the cost for UW. 5 free Uber rides for students equates to about $50 per student per quarter. With 50,000 student population at the University of Washington Seattle campus, this is going to be roughly $9 million for the UW, which is a small cost for the safety and well-being for students on campus. I'm not convinced that more students will use Uber than Husky Night Ride.
I know you truly do care about the safety of your students, Sally. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions about this Husky Night Ride program that you currently have implemented?
Yeah, sure.
Are you aware of exactly how many students on campus use and are familiar with Husky Night Ride?
I'm not aware of the exact number of the students that use Husky Night Ride, but unfortunately, I don't think it's that many.
Yeah, that is true. I've spoken with some members of the UW PD who are familiar with the Husky Night Ride program and help out with it, and they said only about 10% of the student population here at UW utilizes Husky Night Ride. The other percent is very unfamiliar with it.
Oh, wow.
I think a program like Uber, that's an app that a lot of university students already have, will help them to know how to use the app and have the accessibility to get home safely.
Yeah, I agree, but I still think I need to learn more.
Do you care if I show you a quick graphic?
Yeah, you definitely can.
Here's a graphic, Sally, that I have comparing Uber to Husky Night Ride in the University District. Here's a map of where Uber would allow students to be picked up and dropped off. Students could book their Uber from anywhere in the yellow highlighted area, and they could be dropped off at any area within the highlighted yellow area. This allows for ease and accessibility for students. Here is Husky Night Ride. You can see the purple dots highlighting where students can be picked up. Students have to walk from wherever they are alone to go to one of the pickup locations, stand outside and wait for the bus schedule to come pick them up, and then be dropped off at specified locations. This could leave them far from their house and leaves them exposed to walking around the Ave and campus late at night by themselves. That doesn't seem super safe to me.
In order to truly show the value of implementing a rideshare service like Uber at the University of Washington, we need to talk about UW's image and the intangible and tangible impacts of this service. UW is a school that cares about keeping students happy, healthy, and safe. Incorporating a rideshare program at the University of Washington shows that UW cares about students, increasing and creating a positive image. With Uber's rideshare service, UW will be seen as a university that not only cares about education, but also prioritizing students' safety and well-being. Without making any changes to safety precautions, UW has the potential to lose $12.23 million in revenue. The average student that attends the University of Washington brings in an average of $40,750 in average tuition. Say UW loses around 300 students over the next year because they are not prioritizing their safety and students are deterred because of their image decreasing. That will result in a loss of $12.23 million in revenues. While these are the tangible impacts of not implementing safety precautions, there are also so many intangible impacts, like parents and students becoming increasingly frustrated that UW is not prioritizing their student body. In order to illustrate this best, we have a news clip of a very concerned parent that is worried about the lack of safety precautions being implemented at the University of Washington.
UW mom Janet Kowalski says her daughter lives on the same street as the break-in. And on that street alone,
one was a peeping Tom. Right across the street was the man who was caught for the suspect for murder. And then last night, they broke into that house. There's been 3 major incidents since school started on this one street.
Kowalski has been the proud mom of 2 UW students.
If I knew what I know now, I would reconsider a few things.
Now we want to give a visual for the decrease of revenue without Uber. Here you can see the current students that UW normally gets each fall, around 11,000. Here you have the number of students you would have each fall without an increase to safety. While these look like the same amount of students, this is 300 students less. That is almost a $12 million loss of revenue, which is a huge amount for the university to lose. In addition to losing $12 million with the loss of 300 students, they are also going to lose their positive image. With the rate crime is increasing on and around campus, university's positive image is at stake right now. Sally, I would love to now do a quick recap on the discussion that we just had. In our presentation, we started by talking about how there's been a huge increase in crime on and around your Seattle campus of UW. Due to this, you are trying to increase safety. Our Uber passes would allow students to be picked up anywhere on campus during a riskier time frame when a lot of crime happens around your campus. We talked about how you currently have Husky Night Ride implemented, but a lot of students are really unfamiliar with that program, and there's a lot of restrictions on where students can be picked up and dropped off with that. We would love to implement our Uber passes to help increase your safety and help your students have safer walks around campus and a better peace of mind. Is there anything that I missed? Thank you so much for listening to our presentation today, Karen and Jillian. Once we finish with our presentation, we are going to ask Sally if she's interested in trying a free trial run for winter quarter.
Hi, Sally.
Hi!
We'd love to offer you a trial run this winter quarter to allow students to get familiar with our Uber app.
I don't know if we're interested in a trial run right now.
A trial run is the best way for students to have experience using our app and lead to less negative experiences for them on campus and to feel better sense of safety. I can show you a video of one of our Uber representatives approaching a student who was studying alone on campus.
All right, I'll watch the video.
Hi, are you a student at the University of Washington?
Yeah,
How are you feeling about the safety on and around campus here?
I really hate studying so late and walking home by myself, but I always bring my pepper spray just in case.
How would you like to try a free trial of University Uber, where Uber will pick you up wherever you are on campus and can drop you off at your off-campus or on-campus housing?
What an awesome program. I'd love to try it out.
Here, I'll let you use a free trial right now. All you have to do is type in your location and then click on the promo coupon code and type in your individualized code. Let's do that now.
How easy.
Oh look, that's your Uber coming right now.
Hi, is this for Ellie?
It is, yes.
Thank you so much for picking me up.
Of course, I'm so glad I can help.
What a great program. I feel so much safer getting home now.
University Uber is a great way to keep students safe.
Thanks for the ride. Wow, I got home so much faster and in such a safe manner.
Wow, I had no idea what an impact this program could have on students. Could we schedule a time next week to meet with other stakeholders in the UW Safety Department about implementing our Uber program here at the University of Washington Seattle campus?
Yeah, definitely. How does Wednesday sound at 2 p.m.?
That works great.
Awesome.
Yay, Sally! I look forward to this partnership.